Hello, 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 everybody. Chris Avalon here. Let me get all acquainted and stuff. Here to bring you a brand new recap episode of Pose. It's the final episode of the season, episode 8, titled Mother of the Year. There's a lot that's going on. A lot of stuff happened. So, gotta unpack a lot of things and let's get right to it. So, when the show opens, we witness the downfall of Elektra Abundance to my song, I Keep Holding On. It's a classic. Anyway, I know it's a classic because, you know, when I was a kid, my mother used to play like a lot of old songs. Like back in the day when I was growing up, I used to have trouble getting ready for school because the music and everything that was going on, I would get so caught up in the music. So my mother would put on like a lot of light-hearted music, and that was one of the type of songs that I used to grow up hearing, that and Crystal Gale and a whole bunch of other type of people. So it was like this light music. But anyway, so that's how, you know, that song basically brought back memories when I was a kid. Because I used to listen to Freestyle and Lisa and Coro and all those type of people. That was my shit. That, and then we go into the 90s with Ultra Naté and Jocelyn Enriquez and the rest of them. But that's a whole nother story. That's a whole nother, you know, situation. But anyway, so watching the downfall of Elektra Abundance was humbling. I guess not only for the viewers that were watching, but as well as for her. Because she went from, you know, having it all to having nothing and sleeping on park benches and shaking her behind in a booth for people to pay for. And then the ultra gag was when that little visor came up, and on the other side of the glass was none other than Miss Blanca. And seeing that, and it was like, well, because I was like, oh, she hit a gloat and this and the other. But then if you know Blanca's character, she's not that type of girl. Like, she's not somebody who's willing to kick them while they're down, even when they deserve it, as well as she said in that line when they went to the diner. And I love the fact that Blanca took in Elektra and basically was like, you know what, you are my mother, you helped me in so many other ways, I don't want to see you down in the trenches like all these other girls are, I don't want you winding up dead at the end of the year because of, you know, you turning tricks and doing all this other stuff. So her taking her in was something that I thought was really awesome. And then the fact that, you know, typical Elektra, oh, you need to do something about these curtains and I need this room painted, and, you know, her being bougie as she is, but then her having to be snapped back into reality, realizing that that world she once knew and that world that she once got excited for no longer exists. So she has to kind of like just deal with what is now. Like, you gotta get rid of all that other shit, because all the other shit was materialistic stuff. Now you gotta come into the reality. So I also love the fact that we got to see Damon and Ricky's love progress this season, and seeing how, you know, not just black love, but black gay love. And it's not something we often see on television in a positive way. It's always guys who are on the down low, or someone getting beat up for being gay, and I'm tired of seeing that shit in television and movies and stuff. So witnessing Damon and Ricky's love progressing the way it has, and just seeing them just fully love each other and embrace each other, and the fact that there's just this kindred thing, I just think it's really awesome. And then also with them kind of having a conversation about auditioning for, you know, to be dancers for Al B. Shore's music video, as well as going on tour with him, and the fact of those two making it, I thought was really cool. The House of Ferocity, snatching members from other houses, while it was cute, and in a great attempt on Candy and Lulu's part, bitch, we all knew you wasn't going, y'all didn't have it. First of all, Candy's been trying to be something for a long time and could never be anything without the help of Elektra. And Lulu was just stank for no goddamn reason. And I was glad when they got what was coming. Well, I don't want to skip ahead. Let's just keep it, you know, I want to hold my excitement for the read of all reads later on in the video. So yeah, the House of Ferocity, I was like, ew. And thank you for last time when I was, because I said veracity, whatever. I was like, I didn't understand what the fuck they were saying, but it was ferocity meaning ferocious. So it's like, yeah, I still think it's a stupid ass, ugly ass name, but it is what it is. Blanca trying to hook up Pray Tell with the bartender. I didn't even know who the hell he was looking at. First of all, I was like, I need to rewind that part back, because I actually thought he was looking at the girl. I was like, looking at, he's another one that's into the T-girls, whatever, but apparently he was looking at Pray Tell, and then Blanca saw and basically was trying to hook him up with him. I thought that was cute and everything, and the fact of them going out on their first date at Indochine which is where Blanca got Elektra a job, I thought was relatively interesting. So now she went from stripping and living on park benches to staying with Blanca, and also working a job as as a hostess at Indochine, which is cute. So I did like their little date. I don't even know the bartender's name. If y'all know the name, write in the comments, let me know. But seeing them two get together, and then Pray Tell basically worrying about trying to move on after Costas, even though Costas said basically he wants him to find love and get in a relationship and be happy and that sort of thing. And then Pray Tell basically just like, you know what, I'm still trying to come to terms with the fact that I'm HIV positive and there's so many other things. And the fact that it didn't scare the bartender away, I thought was really cool. Because I know like now, you know, we have so many options in regards of HIV and with, you know, with PrEP and being undetectable and not spreading or transferring HIV to someone if you're undetectable and you take PrEP and all these other things. That didn't exist in 1988. So seeing someone be so understanding in those days, I don't necessarily know how that was. I was too young to even understand sex, HIV, that sort of thing in 1988. So I don't know if that was realistic with his reaction to Pray Tell's HIV status, if that was realistic or was just, you know, TV being trying to be PC or whatever. Because that's kind of been my little, even though I love Pose, I do feel like a lot of times y'all a little too polished when the 80s in New York City was far from that. So I hope in season 2, you know, when you guys come back, that you can give a little bit more of that sense of realism and a little more grittiness to how New York was in those days. Even though New York now is so goddamn gentrified, it's just ridiculous. So, oh, and Pray Tell calling himself a reformed hoe, girl. There's no such thing. Be a proud hoe. So I'm talking about being reformed or a former of anything. You know, personally speaking, I love being a hoe. I don't know if I could ever be reformed. If I do, and that Prince Charming comes along, whatever the case is, then we shall see. But always don't be afraid to sow your wild oats. It's a good thing. What else? Damon's scholarship being renewed. I thought that was cute. I thought it was great. And I was wondering if he was going to actually stay in school because, you know, they were dancing Damon and Ricky getting the gig to be Albie Shore's backup dancers. And I was like, people don't realize, like, Albie Shore was the thing back in those days. I remember my sister had the biggest crush on him. It was him, and it was Bobby Brown, and she loved New Edition. Like, that was just a lot of the music that was, you know, when you're a person of color, those were the people that we gravitated towards growing up as a kid. I wasn't really into Albie Shore. I wasn't really paying attention to music like that when I was growing up. But I was thinking, if they ever even thought about bringing Albie Shore on the show, I was like, y'all should get Quincy from Star. Is he still on there? Because I know he was on the show. I don't watch Star, but I know he was on there, and that's Albie Shore's son, who's his mother's Kim Porter, who has been Diddy's longtime baby mother. Well, it will always be because he got a bunch of kids with her. But Quincy is basically the child that Kim Porter had with Albie Shore and that Diddy was raising. And he's become like an actor and he's a musician and all other stuff. And so he's been on Star, but I don't know. I haven't watched Star. I'm not into, I've watched a few episodes, realized that wasn't my cup of tea. But I don't know if he's still on there. So if he's not on there, then maybe they should try to recruit him for next season to play his father, which would be relatively interesting, even though that Quincy has said that he and his father have sort of a cordial relationship, but not necessarily the best relationship. So it'd be interesting to see if he'd be willing to play his father, if Ryan Murphy and them would come at him with a good amount of money and whatever the case is, because I know they paid a good coin for the rights to his music. So yeah, I already talked about Ricky and Damon's audition, why they both wound up getting it. And I actually like the fact that Damon was like, because he found out that his scholarship was renewed, that he was like, you know what, I'm going to stay in school, I'm going to finish, I'm going to get my scholarship, because having that degree and finishing school will get you further. Well, it depends, because there's some people who never went to, you know, school for dance and have become successful in their own right. But he wants to at least have that so that way he can go off and possibly be a choreographer or work at a dance school, a prestigious dance school like the Brooklyn Academy of Music or wherever the case he decides to go. or Alvin Ailey, who knows, down the road where he might end up. So I love the fact that Damon decided to stay in school, and then Ricky went off and is gonna go and be, you know, the backup dancer, and who knows who else he might end up dancing for down the road. Oh, I also love that read from Elektra, by the way, when they was at when they were at Indochine and she read the Bridge and Tunnel set. I know a lot of people was like, well, what's that mean? I don't get that. But Bridge and Tunnel were the folk that used to come from Jersey into New York over, what was it? I forget what bridge was. Was it the, fuck. I don't know. I don't want to spend too much time. But they used to come from the bridge over from Jersey into New York and basically just like lavish in everything that was going on in New York. But then go back across over the water, you know, back to their little suburban lives or whatever. Speaking of suburban lives, let's get into Patty and Stan. And the fact that Patty basically, well, Stan wanted to come move back in the house and basically say that, oh, well, I can live in the little guest room. We could be together for the sake of the kids. And then Patty giving him the ultimatum saying that you need to give up your life in Manhattan and basically just get a regular job as a you know, selling insurance or whatever the hell they do over in Jersey. I don't fucking know. But for her to come with that ultimatum when you don't have a leg to stand on, meaning you don't work a job, you don't do anything, you don't bring any kind of funds, income, whatever the case, I thought it was hilarious. And I was like, Patty, go sit your little square no having ass down. Like, I don't understand how she was gonna come with them terms. Like, I get you're hurt, I get you got cheated on from a girl with a little something extra, but for you to give that ultimatum, I felt was bullshit. And the fact that Stan didn't know what the hell he wanted. He was trying to, everything was for, so the whole bottom line, I feel like, and with their whole interaction, everything with him had to do with appearances and how he looked in the eyes of Walton, you know, where he worked at, you know, for Donald Trump and that whole lifestyle, trying to be this whole waspy type with the money and the jewelry and the fabulosity and living that lifestyle. It was just, it's a lot. But my thing is, if that's the job that you have that's helping you pay for what you need to pay for, I don't know if I could give that up. So it'll be interesting to see like where does Stan and where does that whole situation fit in season 2. Because, well, I don't want to jump the gun because I want to get down to the final confrontation when he does run into Angel. But I don't want to jump into that right away. Yeah, I like the fact that, you know, so it was like, yeah, Blanca and then Angel having their conversation and Blanca trying to get Angel to get her shit together because she was still like in mourning over her relationship with Stan and that whole sort of thing. And the fact that Blanca was like, I want you, if anything happens to me, to basically take over the house to help out, you know, when I'm gone because I'm HIV. So her revealing her HIV status to Angel was a big thing. It was major. So we'll see how, it'll be interesting to see how that all plays out in season 2. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing that. And that was just like a real, I just love that dynamic between them in that scene. Yeah, I already talked about that. So, so now we get to the ballroom and it's the big categories with like Mother of the Year and so many other categories going around. And there's only 4 members in the house of Evangelista. And then of course, Candy and Lulu and their tight-ass house, the House of Ferocity, and them snatching everybody to snatch Aphrodite. You had, first of all, you had Candy looking like a poor man's Lady Chablis. Like, girl, bye. First of all, you looked a hot-ass mess in that outfit. Had the nerve to try to come for Blanca. Which, I was like, Blanca, don't let this bitch read you. Like, snatch that wig off her head. But we all realize Blanca's the bigger person. She's not the type of person that likes to fight, vicious and dirty, and in the gutter, like Candy does and Lulu does. Because those bitches are tired. But, and I love how they play that role up. Even though I know, like, they're not like that in real life. But I just love, like, how stank and shady they are on this show. But, yeah, so her coming in looking like the poor man's Lady Chablis. And how y'all had Jiggly Caliente looking a mess in that white-ass dress. First of all, why the bitch look like, the Stay Puft Marshmallow from Ghostbusters in that white-ass dress and her stomach damn near hanging down to her vagina? Like, y'all could have did much better in the outfits that y'all had her looking in, but whatever, to each his own. it wasn't the look, is basically what I'm trying to say. So then Elektra sashaying in with that old gold outfit was giving me full-on Pepper LaBeija realness. I was just living for it with them giant shoulder pads that was all triangle looking like wings. I was just living for it. And then the fact of, you know, her going off and doing her thing, and I was like, at this point, I knew it. Like, Elektra was going to become, she was going to transform from Elektra Abundance to Elektra Evangelista when she came in and she was like, I got some bitches to read. And I was hoping, because I was like, and that read, child, I can't tell you how many times I rewinded that scene back and watched it over and over and over and over and over and over again, because that read was just everything. Like, I could imagine, like, being in a public place where they were doing, like, pose parties and the room just erupting in applause. I can imagine that that's probably happened, because Lulu and Candy getting what they deserve from Elektra, and you know, it's Elektra's fault, because Elektra raised them damn children to be so fucking evil and just so vicious and nasty. And with her coming and just reading them down and basically saying like, yeah, that's my voice in the back of your head every time y'all go up and y'all perform, and y'all wasn't snatching any of the legendary trophies. So Elektra basically helping the House of Evangelista get to where they were. And not only that, but what is it? Snatching, not only snatching trophies, but snatching Lil Poppy, Lamar, and Cubby from that old other house to come over to the House of Evangelista was everything. So now she got some good Vogers in there. She got two, you know, of the boys that, you know, the butch boys that likes to give the realness and body and stuff. So you got Poppy and you got Ricky for that. And then you got the children that you got the Vogue. And then, of course, you got the girls serving face, which would be Elektra and Angel. So she got a full house, and it'll be interesting to see how all of this dynamic works out. I hope they give the other cast members a lot more story and screen time and things to do, and not just stand around and just be, you know, decoration or, you know, voguing and doing all this other stuff. I hope they give them a lot of stuff to do. So the other part that I found remotely hilarious was like Candy trying to jump in another damn category she knew she wasn't ready for. Like, I get that you could go out and you went and bought your ass and bought a body so you could so you can walk the body category, but when you coming up in there and you ain't got no rhythm, like, you would just wait all the time you warmed up. Bitch, you don't jump on the floor. You don't come on the floor unless you already warmed up. You should have been doing your stretches and your Kegel exercise and all that other bullshit before you stepped on that floor looking like the damn fool that you were, and got not only read by Pray Tell, but you got read by 2 fucking judges. And then for her to try to come at the judges and call people fat fucks and all that, so you do know that these bitches got your fate in their hands with you winning trophies, and you disrespecting the judges. So that's why I said these bitches ain't got no kind of respect. And while it is Elektra's fault, you would think that you wouldn't follow in the footsteps of being just nasty and vicious for no damn reason. Like, I don't understand how you have people up in your house and you treat them the way that you treat them and they're just supposed to stay there. Like, I would never. So, and then Candy going and trying to fight the judge, throwing off her shoes after that judge gonna get up and beat her ass, and she knew she was gonna get her ass beat. Ran back to her purse and pulled out a fucking hammer. I'm like, you know what? So this is the type of hoes you can't even take out in public, because Candy ain't got no damn sense. But that scene was funny though. I'll say that. Also, Stan finally meeting up with Angel. Somehow he was leaving his wife. And all of that was going on with that. To me, I felt like, I was like, girl, don't do it. Don't give in to him. Like, Stan is talking out of his ass. He don't know what the fuck he wants. He's constantly promised, I'll give you the world, I'll give you this, I'll give you that. And then, of course, when the going gets tough, you take it away, which is he's already done. So when you talk about you give me an apartment that you put me up in and all this other stuff, but I was your big secret and this, that, and the third, and then all of a sudden you decide to take that away from me and leave me nothing but my coat in a damn garbage bag, and then you know, then later down the road you meet me at, you know, the ballroom, and then you want to try to take me back and give me back all those things that you already took. It's like, no. I have a duty to my house. I have a duty to my family, the people who love me unconditionally, and I know is not going to just abandon me and leave me like you will, because you can't make up your mind who you are and what you want. Whether you want me, whether you want, you know, that life where you have the white picket fence over in Jersey and the 2 children and the wife and the perfect life that you've built for yourself. I choose me. I choose what I need to do for myself. And somebody down the road will love me unconditionally that I don't have to deal with all their baggage and all their bullshit. So it'll be interesting to see if they decide to bring them back. It'll be interesting if they decide to bring Stan back on season 2 and see where that whole dynamic goes. Because at this point, I feel like if anybody's noticed, like when you watch the show, the writers and everybody seems to focus more on the kids. Say that. They're talking about the legendary children, the House of Evangelista and all the other girls, the LGBT aspect of the show, rather than, we'll say the gay and trans community, because there's no lesbian. I've seen a couple lesbians walk, but there's no storylines for them on the show, or bisexuals. Or is there? Because, Poppy did say he liked his dick sucked every now and again by some boys. But anyway, so the gay and the trans community, they seem to focus more on the queer aspect of the show and not a lot on the side of Wall Street and Donald Trump and stuff. So it'll be interesting to see where do we go with the show as it progresses. Are we going to move further away from that and focus more on them, or are they going to find a better way of balancing both? So it'll be interesting to see that. So now, the House versus House. When you had the House of Evangelista going up against the House of Ferocity, I was living for it because I was like, yes, we're finally going to get a battle. And of course, pray tell with them reads, like the one-liners, those shits is everything. And I just knew because, it's a show and it's a TV show. So I already knew, like, excuse me, the House of Evangelista is going to snatch up all the trophies, including Mother of the Year going to Blanca. Now, that was well-deserved, especially when you watch the whole show and you've seen how Blanca has been to the entire, everybody in the house and how she's helped them get with their life together and where they need to go because she knows she doesn't have a lot of time on this earth. I mean, there have been people who who have had HIV and AIDS in the 80s who are still living. So there is hope for Blanca. Blanca doesn't have to pass away. Unless she's willing to go on those experimental cocktails, whatever the case is. Because, in the late 80s, the medicines and stuff started getting a little better, and then things started happening. So it'll be interesting to see where they go with the show, especially, where do we do? Do we flash forward to the 90s? Because this was 1988. So by the time the new season comes back, we're going to be in, 90, 91. Because I know, the actor that plays Damon on the show was saying that he wants Madonna to appear on the new season of Pose. He wants her to come on the show. If she doesn't come on, I say get Lourdes, because Lourdes looks like Madonna when she was a kid. Well, when she was that age in her early 20s when she first started out. So I'm like, get Lourdes to show up. She could definitely play her mother. See, now I'm getting the children of the famous people to come on to play the younger version themselves. That's 2 I did so far. So, what else? So yeah, I did say that Angel, I love the fact that Angel sent her, that stand back to his wife, was like, I choose me and all that other stuff. Yeah. So Blanca winning Mother of the Year, I thought was well deserved, especially what I was saying before, that we've seen how she has progressed throughout the season and how she's helped so many of the children out. So yeah, overall, what do I give, Pose throughout the season? Besides its little flaws, I'm still going to give it 10s across the board because this is something that we have not seen on TV before. Speaking of, shout out to Leomi Maldonado. It was good to see her on the show. I just love how y'all just be pulling in the legendary children from the Vogue scene and how I remember Leomi back when she was on America's Best Dance Crew and how she's come so far. And she was even on My House. If y'all haven't seen that, y'all should definitely check that show out too. It comes on Viceland. It might still be up there. Just definitely look for it. My House is a great show. It's also about the voguing scene, the house scene, but it's now, how it is now, not the way it was back in the day. So it's a good juxtaposition because you get Pose from the 80s and then you get the Vogue scene from now, and it's kind of these two things, it's like bookends almost. So definitely it's another show you should check out. That whole category of Mother of the Year, it definitely reminded me of Paris is Burning as well, which I know y'all get a lot of inspiration from watching with the show. Where it was when Angie Extravaganza won Mother of the Year, keeping the house intact. He said intact. He ain't say intact. So I'm like, just going by what I've seen in that movie, because I've seen Paris is Burning 8 billion times. But just getting that, it was just there was so many elements of Paris is Burning I saw up in there, but at least they gave credit, unlike RuPaul over on Drag Race, who loves to quote that damn movie, but don't never tell you where it came from. So overall, like, yes, I give Pose 10s across the board. I love the show. Can't wait for it to come back. I'm going to try my damnness whenever they start casting for the second season. Since I live in New York, I'm definitely going to try to, not try. I'm definitely going to audition for the show, get on. I don't care if I'm a background person or whatever. I'm going to get on Pose because I need to be a part of this. And just seeing a show that definitely reflects an aspect of my life that... Because I'm not part, I've never been part of the ballroom scene, but I have a lot of friends who have been, and I've hung out on the piers. I've done that whole thing of New York and all that other stuff, like in the 90s when I was like a little old enough to go down to the pier. That was like when I was on his last legs before the gentrification happened in the 2000s. So getting to see that world and be a part of that and seeing it reflected on TV, it's just like, it's amazing because you see so many of your friends who have come a long way from the ballroom scene and they're now not only we're seeing ourselves reflected, but also a lot of my people that I know are on this show. It's just awesome. It's just awesome to see when your friends are winning and then they've come a long way and we're being represented. So I'm hoping also with Pose, even though the ratings haven't been that great, and sometimes, you need time for your show to grow or to find an audience. And I'm sure it will. Once they put Pose on Netflix, I'm sure the audience will get a lot bigger. And because that's usually where all the FX shows go anyway. They wind up on Netflix. So hopefully it'll end up on Netflix. People will support it. And then the audience for it will get a lot larger. But yes. And also I love the fact that I've been recommending the show to a lot of people. And they've been watching it off my recommendation. And have been giving so much great feedback and saying they like it. So overall, yes, I give Pose 10s across the board. I'm loving the show. I'm hoping that this show opens the door for more queer entertainment, especially reflecting people of color. We get to see more of that on television, and more people will be brave enough to tell our stories, and it'll actually inspire us to create more content. So yeah, love the show. Love every last one of you guys who have taken the time to even sit and watch my reviews and give their opinions on it and chime in, and just the love of this show and bringing so many people together, especially not only the LGBTQ community, but as well as women. Like, straight women are watching this show and are loving it and are embracing it and just want to be a part of it and just want to feel what a lot of us and a lot of the people in our community are feeling and what we're going through. And sometimes, you know what? A lot of people aren't around a lot of trans people, so television and films, they help that. And so, I appreciate you guys. I appreciate all of you that actually watch and subscribe and all other stuff. Speaking of which, if you like this video and a lot more content, which I will be producing down the road, click subscribe, hit the bell so you know whenever a new episode pops up, as well as also follow me on Instagram at Chris Avalon Blog, on Twitter, Chris Avalon NYC, on Facebook, I'm just Chris Avalon. Not I'm just Chris Avalon, but just look Chris Avalon up on Facebook and I should pop up. I'm probably like the only damn one. But yeah, I'm everywhere. So if you see me, say hi, tell me how much you like my video contents and all other stuff, and I will definitely continue to bring you the best in all the things that's going on that a lot of people aren't talking about. So, love you all. Thank you for watching. See ya.